Hey there, my name is Derek Henry with XLEV8 Consulting, and in this how-to video, we're going to talk about a macro that's really helpful for navigation and some common sheet actions in Excel called the Sheet Action Picker. Now, when we run this, the default shortcut is Control-Shift-S. That's probably the easiest way to run it. It's going to show you a list of commands like all the other pickers do, and the default one here is F that I've set because that's a pretty helpful one. That's Go to First Sheet. Now, a lot of times what you want to do, go back to the beginning. That might be where you have a list or instructions or inputs or something. So there you go. It does that. Now remember, you can set your default option very easily. Just click the box right here after you enter it, or you can type that out. So that's F. L is very similar. Jumps to the last sheet, right? Again, very similar. So if we want to go back to the first one, and that's our default option, all we do is press Control-Shift-S and enter. And easily you can get all around the file. Now the next option is J, so that's going to let you jump to or search for a particular sheet. So we would just start typing a couple of letters, or numbers in this case, because all the sheets here have numbers. If you have a big model or something that's going to have a whole bunch of sheets, this makes it really easy to go between them. Just a couple of letters, and you can press the arrow keys, and notice how it's showing the tab color here. It's showing the visibility, right? So if you have a sheet that you want to jump to that is not visible, it will say hidden here, and you can go to it. It'll actually unhide it for you when you use this. So with the entire sheet name listed in the search box here, just press enter and it will jump to it. Right, so if you have a whole bunch of sheets, that's a really easy way to navigate. And it works very similarly for recent files, searching the macros itself like we just sometimes people do, or if it's a data validation, there's several ways that that suggestive search box really can help. Now we're going to jump to we're going to skip over option S and go to option P. That's previous. So if we type P, it's going to jump back to where we were before. So we were on the first one. We run out again. It's going to jump back and forth from where you were, the most recent sheet you were in. A lot of people like to set that as a default because you're going back and forth between a couple of sheets and you want to make it easier. Option T is really interesting. How cool would it be to have a table of contents linked to all the different sheets that you have? That's exactly what we're going to see here. So in the next prompt, it's going to say, where do you want the link to go to for every single sheet in the file? And it's going to build this on the fly. So every one of the sheets in the file, even the hidden ones, notice it's going to hide the rows that correspond with those. It's even going to have all of the colors of the tabs corresponding to the cell fill colors. And it's going to list them out in their hyperlinks. So if you want to jump to 8707, there you go. And then the idea is that the F is your default option because that's where the table of contents goes, intentionally in the front. And you can go back and forth to any sheet in the file in multiple ways. Use the search box. Use this, right? There's a lot of different ways you can do that. Now again, we're going to skip over a couple and we're going to run option D for delete. Whether you have one or more sheets, it's going to delete them for you. Now that's a pretty important step that you don't want to mess up, so it will, because if you do this the manual way. We're going to click delete because we're going to rerun the table of contents. I want to make sure that my formulas are working here. Let's make those automatic. This is a part of a file I used to use. It was big and we had formulas manual because there's a lot going on in it. So now we got that to automatic. We're going to run option T again, but we're going to add an S to add summary references. And what that means is it's going to add a couple of formulas here so that we can just put in B and 8. Notice how there's a whole bunch of indirect formulas. And what that lets you do is see all of these items side by side together. So if we make that a little cleaner looking, here's net sales. So it uses a label to find out from here. It's pulling it from right here, right? And it's pulling in B8 would be right here. So it's going to pull that number right there, that cell from all these different sheets so we can see it in a list. A lot of times people will download a report and it's going to split out the different cost centers or locations or regions or people or something on different sheets. This is an awesome way to then kind of put them back together in one list. Just add an S to that option T. Now, very similarly, let's say we want to select a bunch of sheets. We're going to print them out or something. Select the names of those sheets, and a table of contents is a great way to do that. And then you're going to run option S. Look at that. It selected all those sheets, and then maybe you want to print those out, right? That's option S. Now, if we want to copy a sheet, let's say we're on 8701 here, and we want to copy that, we're going to label it 8701 adjusted, or something like that, right? Copies it for us, and it renames it. So it's an easy way, again, do it without using a mouse. Now, the other option, the next option is X. The only difference here is that it's not going to copy any named ranges. Sometimes if you have name ranges, it can mess it up if you're using similar names in the same sheet. So that's often what I recommend if you've got a lot of range names and you don't want to duplicate those and add any confusion. It does the same thing. It just doesn't have any range names in it. Now, if you want to copy a particular sheet to a brand new workbook in one step, okay, that is option N. So put N, press enter, new sheet. You see how that one we were just on is added as the first sheet in the file, right? So that might be something you want to do. We're not going to save that, don't need it. Let's say we want to insert a sheet. Press I. Now, optionally, you can put a name of it. If you don't, it's just going to make it sheet 1 or 2 or whatever the next one is in the sequence. I'm going to put in my initials and put a sheet here, so it just adds a blank sheet. Nothing special there. It's literally just going to speed it up for you as opposed to having to right click and then name it yourself, just all in one step. We already went through D on deleted sheets. What if we want to move them? Okay, what if we want to move this sheet one forward? Then click option B. Okay, moves it. Now, if we want to move it back, click option A to move after. Okay, puts it back. You want to move it to the end, right? Then put M, then a space, and then where it should go. Now, if you put some number that is higher than the highest number in the file, it's going to put it toward the end, right there. Now, if you want to hide a sheet, let's say we're going to hide this one right here. We're going to press H. It's going to hide any of the sheets that you have selected. So if you have more than one, it'll hide them all. And then very similarly, if you want to unhide every sheet in a file, right? This is something you can't do in Excel by default. Press U. It will unhide any hidden sheets. Now there could be 2 or there could be 50 or 500, and it's going to hide every single one of those in one step. Normally people have to go in here, right? And you got to activate and unhide a sheet, and you got to pick which one, right? It would work right here because we just unhid them all. This makes it easier in one step. Now sometimes you got a bunch of sheets, you want to delete them, and they tend to be at the end of the file. They tend to be not in the front. So this next option makes it easy to do that. So if you want to select all sheets from 1 to the end, whether you're going to print those or you're going to delete them or you're going to format them in bulk or whatever, option E will do that for you. It selects from the current one that you were on all the way to the end, like you're seeing right here, right? To select something else, just go to a different sheet or activate any sheet if you've selected them all. Now, if you want to rename one, that is option R. So we're going to say R, then we are going to put a space, and then let's say we want to put somebody else's sheet, XYZ sheet. They'll rename it for you, so you're seeing right there. And then lastly, very simple, W just opens a new workbook. Right, sometimes you want to do that. There's a few different ways to do that with any add-in. A lot of times when you're working with sheets is when you want to do it. So there you have it, several different options to help you work really quickly with sheets. Some just make it easier than default Excel methods. Others do things you just can't do in Excel natively, like search for them, add that table of contents. Those are awesome. Unhiding things in bulk. You know, these are great ways to help you work with sheets. So hopefully you found this video helpful. I hope you use that macro a lot, and appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your day.